Yeah. So, as far as growing my
Mm-hmm.
business is just what we talked about is
Mm-hmm.
getting more leads. We
Yeah.
can always use more leads. What I'm blessed with, and I keep going back, is the company that I work with is Kaufman Realty and Auctions.
Yeah.
The entire team that they have is just incredible. From the marketing team, just they know how to market a property, they know how to market assets.
Yeah.
So Kaufman has set me up with the team to succeed. All I need to do is bring clients in, and so that's my number one struggle, is to find more and more clients. Being new to the area,
Yeah.
newish.
Yeah. How
Five
long have you been
years.
here? 5 years?
5 years,
Okay.
yeah. Coming up in May, it'll be 5 years that I moved here to West Virginia. So of course, the business I'm in is building your network is very important, and we're both in a BNI chapter in
That's
Morgantown,
right.
the Mountaineer chapter,
Yeah.
and that's been huge for me.
Yeah.
Positively West Virginia is powered by Breezeline high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Huntington Bank, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Key of Morgantown, and Storymaker. With the help of these sponsors, we are able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one featured in today's episode.
Folks, we're visiting today with James Yoder. He's an auctioneer with Kaufman Auctions. James, thanks for being in the studio today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, Jim.
Yeah, I've gotten to know you over the years, and I really appreciate what you do as an auctioneer with Kaufman. We're going to talk about your business and learn about what you do. James, just give us an overview. What's an auctioneer do, and what do you do specifically with Kaufman?
Yeah, sure. So first off, I just want to brag on Kaufman a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed to be part of, and I might be a little biased, but I believe it's one of the, if not the best, auction company in the country with Kaufman Realty and Auctions.
Great.
They were founded in 1975 by Dave Kaufman up in Sugar Creek, Ohio, and it's since expanded to 7 or 8 offices throughout multiple states, and we can dig into that later as well, as far as how far Kaufman spreads out over the country. But
Sure.
so yeah, I'm blessed to be a part of a great company where we offer traditional listings, we offer real estate auctions, we offer content auctions, many different or solutions for many different problems that people face. Oftentimes when they're transitioning in life, going into the next stage in life.
Yeah, that's great. James, how did you get inspired in the first place to become an auctioneer?
Yeah, so I grew up, and I'll give you a little bit of background on where I grew up. It's a little bit different culture than most people. So I grew up Amish up in Holmes County, Ohio. And so 8th grade education, one-room schoolhouse, outhouse, no indoor bathroom. And so
amazing.
so that's where I grew up, is up there in Holmes County. And so when you're Amish, you don't have TV, you don't have these superheroes you look up to, and so the auctioneer was kind of what I always looked up to. That was the celebrity in the Amish community, was the auctioneer, and I always wanted to be an aucauctioneer.
Wow,
and
that's so cool.
So yeah, that's
you were inspired at a young age.
Yeah, and then over time, I decided to go to auction school, and I wanted to be a livestock auctioneer, sell horses and cows, and then sell cars and just travel and sell. But then we got married, had our first child, and then things changed a little bit. My priorities changed a little bit, and I realized that being on the road all the time is not a great idea when you have a little baby at home. And so my wife and I, we prayed about it. We decided, real estate and estate auctions would be a better fit, because I'd be closer to home and more local. And so I pursued that. And long story short, we moved from Ohio to West Virginia and for a great opportunity here with Kaufman.
Yeah.
And it's been a great 5 years.
And you're located in Harrison County, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. Our office is in Bridgeport.
Bridgeport.
We cover all of West Virginia.
You live in Lost Creek?
Yeah. So I live in Lost Creek. Yep.
Okay.
Out in Good Hope, actually.
Good Hope. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. So James, tell us a little bit about what you're known for. What are your specific auctioneer services that you're known for?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that sets us apart from our competition, is we offer traditional real estate services. We offer traditional listings.
Yeah.
We understand the importance of every aspect of traditional listing, real estate auction, And then we also do content auctions. Content auctions oftentimes are estates or people's collections. And
like a gun collection,
yeah, gun collection, coin
Yeah.
collection, jewelry.
Yeah.
So those are the main services that we provide are traditional listing, real estate auction, and content auctions.
Yeah. So, for instance, when you mention an estate, somebody is an executor or executrix of an estate. Their loved one passes away, they die, and now they've got this property. Maybe it's a house with some acreage and all the stuff that's been accumulated.
Yes.
And they say, what the heck do I do with all this now? They call you.
Correct. Yeah. And when they call me, first thing I'll do is I'll go in and meet with them, and I'll ask questions and find out, what are their needs and what are their goals. And then I find a solution to fit into that and help them through that process. Because it can be overwhelming.
Sure.
In an estate situation where you're left with, a lot of assets, a lifetime of collection, lifetime of assets that have been collected, and to know where to sell these and how to get top dollar and market these things.
Absolutely.
And so that's where we come in and walk alongside.
It reminds me of a meme I saw recently. It was a barn full of stuff, and it was an older fella looking at the younger guy and saying, "Someday, son, this will all be yours." And the kid's scratching his head like, "I don't want any of this," right?
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
happens.
Yeah. And we get that call all the time. Unfortunately, their loved one passed away, but they'll say, Dad always said he'd leave this to me, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't want it. And so we help them through those situations.
Yeah, there's probably some emotional ties to it, right? People have that
Yes.
that connection. This is Dad's stuff, and but you help them. You kind of take the burden off of them. So to
Correct.
speak.
Yep. Yeah. I take the burden off of them, and like you said, it's a stressful time, and we understand that.
Yeah. What's your 30-second pitch when you meet somebody for the first time? What do you tell them you do?
Yeah. So I already kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're a full service real estate company. We offer both traditional listings and real estate auctions. And we also do content auctions. So we help people who are going through transitions in life. And we offer solutions. We don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah. You talk about the 4 Ds.
Yeah. So the 4 Ds are the transitions in life that I speak about.
Yeah.
And death, the unfortunate circumstance of a loved one passing away, so estates. Divorce, oftentimes when there's a divorce, people need to liquidate assets, and the best way to do it is at auction. So it's death, divorce, debt. So if someone's in debt and they need to liquidate assets quick, that's another great auction piece there. And then
Downsizing.
Yeah, downsizing. Thank you. 4 Ds. Drew a blank there. So
okay.
Downsize is one that we encounter a lot, is where people have a farm and they work this farm. Now they're ready to downsize. They're ready to move on to the next part of their life. So yeah, those are the 4 Ds.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's something that we all can relate to, because those transitions happen to all of us at one point in time or another, right? It's guaranteed, right? Guaranteed. So James, where, geographically speaking, where do you do business? You're based out of the Bridgeport office. You live in Good Hope, Harrison County, West Virginia. How big of a geographic area do you serve?
Yeah, so as far as Kaufman, our whole company, we've got offices in Ohio, West Virginia, Illinois, and Florida. And so we cover all of those states, of course. But here in West Virginia, I cover West Virginia and Maryland and Pennsylvania primarily. Now, of course, we'll travel to other states if we need to, but those are my primary focus.
That's amazing. Now, do you still get into the horse auctions and occasionally doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so that's something that
you're like a hired hand. So to speak.
So we call it contract auctioneering.
Okay, cool.
And where we just show up and we bid call and then we go home, and it's a lot less stress than working with an estate. So that's what got me into auctioneering. So of course I still I do it every once in a while. I've got about a dozen horse auctions I do across the country.
Amazing.
Every year. And it's always fun to go back and
kind of like your original inspiration.
Yeah.
Still keeps you connected and grounded.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of like a recharging, if you will, when I go to a live auction and do the bid call. It's kind of recharging. You come back and you feel re-energized.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. James, now, are you as an auctioneer, you're kind of your own boss. You're an entrepreneur. You own
Correct.
your own business.
Yes.
Working through Kaufman.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating too. Kind of like a realtor would work
Correct.
for a brokerage
Yep.
company, real estate firm. Okay,
Yep,
very
correct.
good. Our guest once again today is James Yoder with Kaufman Auctions. He's an auctioneer. We're going to take a quick break just to mention our great sponsors. We'll be right back.
It started with a road trip. Huntington bankers through big cities and small towns, where we met Jane and Dontel and their calendar. Every day, predicting the money coming in and the money going out, which gave us an idea. What if we could set up a digital cash flow calendar for their business? So we built it for them. Why? Because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Stay connected with an unbeatable deal from Breezeline. Get reliable, fiber-powered 500 megabits internet for $39.99 per month with a $100 gift card and price lock guarantee, plus a free modem, free installation, and free Wi-Fi your way. Folks, here at Interaction Media, we're a media company, and we rely on high-speed internet every single day to get our jobs done. That's why we use Breezeline. It's affordable, it's fast, and they're awesome people as well. Learn more at breezeline.com.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
Hey, to get a $1 done, to get a how much on them, to get a $5.10, hey, to get a $15 done, to get a 20, and out 5 here, down 30, and out 5 here, down 40 done, to get a 5 here, 5,800, and to get a 5 here, and I sold it to you, $50.
James Yoder, auctioneer with Kaufman Auctions. James, that was awesome. That's called a bid call?
Yeah, bid
Or an
call
auction
or
chant?
bid chant. Yeah.
That's wonderful. You were a 2020 West Virginia Auctioneer Champion and the 2021 Ohio Junior Auctioneer Champion. So
Correct.
congratulations.
Yep.
That's a little sample for folks on what you do. Now, a lot of auctioneering, right, has changed. I would say probably before the pandemic, but really when the pandemic hit, you guys were doing a lot of online auctions. Can you talk
Correct.
a little bit about that?
Yeah. And so that's when I talk about Kaufman being one of the top auction companies in the United States. This story fits perfectly into that. So we were actually online only before the pandemic hit, and because Kaufman, the leader, saw where the auction industry was going, and we're always at the forefront, and we stay true to the integrity and the foundation that Dave Kaufman laid back in 1975. But we're always looking to be at the forefront with the technology to make sure that we can get top dollar for our clients' assets. And online auction is such a great tool for estate auctions, for real estate auctions, collectibles, because people can bid from anywhere. They can bid from the comfort of their own home. They can be in their boxers if they want to be. It's a busy world nowadays, and people a lot of time don't have time to spend a whole day at the auction or 3-4 hours at the auction if there's one item that they're interested in. But they can go on our website, they can put it on their watch list, they can put in a max bid, they can keep on going with their lives.
Yeah, and get those email notifications. Hey, you won, or you've been outbid, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of just keep up with it that way. That's a great way to go about it. Now, is it true, James, that because I've heard this to be true, I'm going to confirm it, but a lot of times when you're doing these real estate auctions, you may have out of state bidders that they've never seen the property, they've never laid eyes on it, they've never walked it. They're from out of state and they're just buying the property.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sight
That's
unseen.
Very true. And I'll tell you the quick story. Jim, you've heard this story several times already. Widow down in Philippi, West Virginia. She had a 75-acre farm, and her husband had built their dream home on this farm. And they collected jewelry, gold and silver, guns over the years, and they had accumulated all these things, and then unfortunately her husband passed away, and she was left with all these assets in the 75-acre farm, and she wanted to ensure that she got top dollar for everything, and she wasn't sure which direction to go. She was overwhelmed, and so we came in and helped her through that situation, and we did that by listening to what she needed, and so we did the real estate auction. We put that online only. And that way, so we left the contents in the home and put the real estate up for auction so that she could stay in her home during this whole process. She wanted to stay in that home as long as possible.
As long as possible, sure.
And so we put the real estate online, and we sold it for, I believe it was right in the ballpark of $100,000 over what the minimum that she was willing to take.
Fantastic.
Sight unseen.
That's top dollar.
To your point,
Yeah.
sight unseen,
Sight unseen.
to a couple from Idaho.
No
And
kidding.
we had just FaceTimed them on the farm, and they liked what they saw. And when they showed up, they still loved it.
Amazing.
And so after we sold the real estate, we put the contents up for auction online only again. And we coordinated the closing of the real estate with the pickup day of the contents. So the people, all the buyers came and picked up their contents the day of closing, so that everything worked together, and she was able to sleep in her own bed in her house the night before closing. And she got up that morning, went to closing table, got her check, and moved on into her new apartment.
Her
and
next phase of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seamless, and you coordinated all that.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's a great example of a complete estate
Right. Yep.
auction for a client, somebody who's in need. You came in and filled that need and did it beautifully. I love that.
And she's got so much better quality of life now where she's at.
Yeah.
You know, that farm was a great time of her life, but she was ready to move on, and we were able to help her, find that better quality of life.
Absolutely. James, what's the wildest thing you've seen in the auction industry since you've been
Oh boy.
like it could be like a crazy item that you had to auction off or something. Like what's something that sticks out?
Yeah. So one thing that sticks out is we were cataloging an online content sale, and we were in a garage, and it wasn't in West Virginia. I'm not going to tell you where it was at, but we were in a garage, and there was a cardboard box, and it had the name on it, and I forget the name. We'll just say Ben.
Yeah.
And it had a name on it, Ben, and we opened it up, and it was ashes, and middle of the garage, trash everywhere, and this box was there. So we took it into the house, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's Uncle Ben. Nobody really liked him anyway." So I'd say that's probably the craziest story craziest thing I've ever come across.
Wild. Yeah, that is a wild story. Yeah. That's great. Well, thanks for sharing that. I can imagine you come across a lot of things.
And it's not crazy, but it shows how our team is trained to look for valuable items. So we were doing an estate sale, and down in the basement, there were just, shelves of, you name it, jars and all kinds of stuff on the shelves. And under a bunch of stuff was this cast iron skillet. And it was a number 13 cast iron skillet. And our crew knew that was a valuable skillet. And had they not, been, known, had somebody just come in and picked up the whole estate,
an old
they
pan.
wouldn't have known
Yeah,
it.
right.
And so this, skillet looked like a $20 skillet, but it brought $1,800 because of the brand and the number on it.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
That is fantastic, and that's another benefit of dealing with somebody who is expert in the field, right?
Correct. We've got a great staff that handles our online content sales. There's 8 full-time people. That's all they do every day is go out and catalog items and handle that process. So they see it every day. They're full-time. They're true professionals.
Yeah, I love it. Folks, we're going to take a quick break to mention our sponsors for Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back.
It's in the precision, the attention to detail, and a confidence that create a timeless look. Like Diamond Cuts Barbershop, Freedom Kia of Morgantown is not only committed to timeless design, but also fair pricing, excellent sales, and service with no hidden fees. You'll love the all-new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive leasing for just $265 per month. Wherever it is you're going, arrive with confidence and arrive in style. Visit Freedom Kia today, right off exit 153 on I-79 in Morgantown.
My name's Caitlin Furby. I'm an interior designer with Remarkable Interiors. Our time is very limited. We're trying to do everything we can possible to keep our clients' projects moving and rolling. So Storymaker has been really great for us for putting out how to explain our company. I can sit and agonize about a post and is this right? Does this sound good? When I use Storymaker, it sounds so beautiful and it was so easy and it saves me a lot of time to do the things that I'm really good at.
Folks, we're visiting once again with James Yoder. He's an auctioneer with Kaufman Auctions. James, what's the thing in your business right now that you're most excited about?
The story I just told you, that's what gets me excited about
Yeah.
what I do is to be able to go into a situation where someone is just overwhelmed and they don't know which direction to go, and I've got a solution for that, and I can help them through that. And so my job when I go in is to ask questions and find the right solutions for that problem.
Yeah.
And it's
I bet it's different every time, right?
yeah, and it's so fulfilling to be able to put that right person in that spot to help them. And like our staff, we've got a lot of talented people on our staff that help them out. But then outside of our company, the network that I bring to my clients as well. So oftentimes when we go into an estate, you need to clean out the house as well. You need to haul all the trash out.
You've got people to do that.
We got people to do that. You need to clean the house before we put it on the market. We've got people to do that.
Yeah.
You need to pressure wash, the front of the house and the driveway to make it look better.
Curb
We've
appeal.
got people
Yeah.
to do that. You need to get the yard work done. We've got people to do that. So we've got people to put in every one of those situations.
So you take an overwhelming situation and bring calm to the storm.
Correct. Yep.
And get top dollar.
Yeah, and get top dollar.
Which I like when you say
Yeah.
top dollar, because I
Yeah.
think that resonates with a lot of folks. James, how do you get the word out there these days about your services and those people that I mentioned, somebody who is an executor of an estate, your dad's estate, and maybe you're not even thinking about it. You've been mentioned in a will. How do you get the word out to those folks? Like,
Correct, yeah.
Someday the need's going to arise, right?
Right. Yeah. So the number one way that I get leads is referrals, is word of mouth,
Perfect, yeah.
is when I do one auction, I do a good job. They go tell other people. That's the number one.
That's perfect.
And I think most businesses work that way. But I'm excited to be working on a project with your company, Interaction Media, right now on producing a video telling a story of one of my clients. And we'll be using that on social media. We're going to do some TV ads with it as well. So,
Get the
so
word
those
out
are the two big things: is word of mouth, building my network, and
Telling
then,
great stories.
yeah, telling stories.
That's essentially what a referral is, right?
Yeah. That's what you built your business on, is telling stories.
I love it, man. So in terms of growing your business, James, what's one of the biggest challenges you're facing right now?
Yeah. So as far as growing my business, is just what we talked about, is getting more leads. We can always use more leads. What I'm blessed with, and I keep going back, is the company that I work with, is Kaufman Realty and Auctions.
Yeah.
The entire team that they have is just incredible. From the marketing team, just they know how to market a property, they know how to market assets. Yeah. So Kaufman has set me up with the team to succeed. All I need to do is bring clients in, and so that's my number one struggle, is to find more and more clients. Being new to the area, newish. 5 years.
How long have you been here? 5 years?
5 years,
Okay.
yeah. Coming up in May, it'll be 5 years that I moved here to West Virginia. So of course, the business I'm in is building your network is very important. And we're both in a BNI chapter here in Morgantown, the Mountaineer chapter.
Yeah.
And that's been huge for me.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I must also say that you are current president for that organization
for
too.
a couple more weeks.
So you are a leader. And James, every time I have somebody who's a great leader here in the studio, I want to ask the question, pick your brain, because I'm a student of leadership. What do you think is the most important attribute of a successful business leader today?
The most important attribute of a successful leader today, I think, is listening and humility. That would be the traits. But of course, always educating yourself, reading books. And I'm just looking at what I do to keep me sharp and keep me moving forward. I'm reading a book right now, The Slight Edge, and it talks about life doesn't go. It's not just a straight line. It's a curve up or a curve down. And every morning that you wake up, you choose the curve up or the curve down. And so morning routine is very, very important. Getting your mindset right so you can serve your clients, so you're in a positive headspace, so you can serve your clients right.
Yeah.
So I think your morning routine, getting your mind right, making sure you're on the curve upwards, doing the little things.
Love that. Yeah.
The little things add up.
Yeah. What's something you do each day that contributes to that success?
Yeah, so
Your morning routine, if you will.
So my morning routine would be first thing I do is Orange Theory. I go to Orange Theory, work out, get some cardio in. That gets the blood pumping.
That's great.
And then when I get to the office, I sit down and I look at my goals. So I review my goals every morning. So it's fresh in my mind.
Wonderful.
And something that I just recently started is I write down my yearly goal. I write it down 25 times every morning. And to get that into your subconscious.
That's amazing.
Because your subconscious is more important than the rest of your brain, because that's really what runs the way that you think.
Yeah.
So when you do that 25 times every morning, that's in there.
That's awesome.
And then I do 10 pages of reading every morning, and then I write two notes to a client or to just a friend every morning.
That's discipline, man.
Yep.
That's great. Wonderful. I harken back to what you said earlier, growing up Amish, having an 8th grade education. You're highly educated.
In life.
You're a smart dude. And I think you bring a lot of wisdom to the conversation, so thank you for that. James, as somebody who grew up in Ohio and is now running a business here in West Virginia, what would you say is a piece of advice you would give to somebody wanting to start a business? It doesn't necessarily have to be an auction business, or real estate or whatever, but what kind of advice would you give to somebody thinking about starting a business here in West Virginia?
Yeah, so I just the other day I had an opportunity to speak to some high school kids. And so I gave them this advice. First is find something that you love and you're passionate about. And when you love and you're passionate about what you're doing, it makes everything so much easier, because it is hard. It's really hard to start your own business. And number 2 is the morning routine that I just talked about. And then your network. Your network is so important. Relationships, I would say, are the key ingredient in anyone's success, because people talk about self-made, successes. There's very, very few people that are self-made. It's because of the network that's around them.
They say your network is your net worth.
Very true.
So there
very
you
true.
go. Great stuff.
They talk about, look at the 5 people around, your 5 closest friends. That's who you are. Yeah. And I go back to B&I, the chapter, the networking chapter that we're both in. I think that's had a huge, huge part of my success here. Is every week I get to, mingle with very successful business people here in Morgantown, and it changes my mindset. I see how they work. So I think, getting in with the right network is very, very important.
Amazing. James, we've covered a lot of great content in this interview. Is there anything else you think our listeners should know about James Yoder or Kaufman Auctions?
Yeah, no, I think
Kaufman Realty and Auctions.
Yeah, so I think you've asked great questions. I think we've covered pretty much everything, so yeah, I think we're good.
Awesome. As we close out our time, James, how can our listeners and viewers learn more about you or Kaufman Auctions?
Sure. Yeah. So our website is Kaufman, Kaufman, so just one F, Kaufman Auctions with an S, wv.com. And I've got a personal website as well, wv.auction. Or you can call me at 304-844-3139.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll make sure all that's in the show notes and on the social media channels and everything. James, just listening to you and your story and how you serve people, you're a great leader, and I'm very, very happy to call you my friend. And I think what you're doing is amazing. And if people are in those positions where they've got real estate, an estate, and they don't know what to do, highly recommend James Yoder. Give him a call and check him out. I want to encourage you to keep up the great work.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Jim.
Absolutely.
We'd like to thank our partners, Huntington Bank, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, Storymaker, and our studio sponsor, Breezeline, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positivelywv.com/sponsor.
Folks, that's it for another episode of Positively West Virginia. If you or someone you know would be a great guest on the show, drop us a line on our website at positivelywv.com. And of course, we appreciate your comments, your sharing this on social media, and all the encouragement along the way as well. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, including our producer today, Mr. Dylan Sheldon behind the controls, I'm your host, Jim Matuga. Stay positive, West Virginia.